Hello and welcome back to my channel. I want to do a quick update with regards to this PTT radio phone device. I've had a chance to use it now. I've been using it for a few days on and off, and I have to say I'm really still impressed with it. There's a few features that I'm a little bit concerned about, but I'll go through those with you shortly. First of all, I've had a few comments on YouTube with regards to these. There is quite a lag between when you talk and when the other radio receives, and I think for that reason that's why the emergency services won't be using this sort of system for quite a while, at least not until 5G comes out, which is probably sometime next year I think. But at the moment there's just too much of a lag, and with regards to the coverage I don't think it's probably quite sufficient yet. There are some companies who do use PTT. I know in America RT-3 have a system using PTT, and that's a much bigger system over there. So you know, there's no reason I don't think why in times to come we won't see more of these on the market over here. A few little niggly bits. First of all, the microphone for the radio and the telephone, it's the same microphone. It's based to the very bottom of the radio. You can have a look there, you can probably just see it, a little pinhole. Now this is all good and well if you're using it as a telephone. However, when you come to talk, you have to remember not to hover your hand over that microphone, because what I tend to do is when I'm using a radio is I hold it like so and I talk into the top. Now that's all good and well if you're not covering the whole up, because the microphone and the audio is sufficient enough to be able to pick your voice up. However, if you have your hand covering that, you do sometimes get the scrapey noise of your hand covering the mic, and sometimes that does make you inaudible. So that's one thing that I wish they could change, and that is to have the microphone near the top for the PTT feature. Everything else at the bottom is absolutely fine. Now the other feature that causes me an issue is the push to talk on the screen. Let me bring you in closer and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here we have two devices, using my iPhone for one and using the PTT radio for the other. Now we could be having a conversation and you can use the side button to talk, or you can use the screen to talk. And to receive, they press that, and it comes out your radio. Once you finish your conversation, often you'd have that screen closed down, you'd have it in your pocket. Now if you then get a call on this radio here by this user, calling 12, this then comes to life, but the screen doesn't, which is good. I like that. You can respond. Responding 12. And you can have your conversation, and then you can say your goodbyes and you carry on your business. The only problem is this screen is now still active. So when you touch that, it actually transmits. Now this is a problem when you've finished doing what you're doing, you've finished your conversation and you want to put this radio back in your pocket. You could accidentally touch that with your hand or your thumb, and without knowing, it starts transmitting. Not a major issue, but it's something that I find quite annoying, because it's happened to me a few times on several occasions. I don't always have this belt clip fastened. Sometimes when I've used this to give it a proper trial, I've put my own SIM card in here and I've tried to use this on a daily basis as a telephone as well as a radio, and often this will be in my pocket. I'll reach in to get my keys or any coins that are in my pocket, which this is in with, and anything that touches that, it starts to transmit. And from what I can tell so far, there's no way of stopping that feature. So that's just one of the issues that I found. Now someone else has asked me a question about the side buttons here. We have an SOS button at the top, and at the bottom we have a camera button. Now someone's asked me about mapping these buttons. Now from what I can tell so far, there's no way of being able to remap those. So that camera button will always activate the camera. The SOS button isn't at this stage connected to anything. However, my understanding is from reading a forum not so long back is that you can actually remap the SOS to something else. Maybe you can with the camera as well, I'm not entirely sure. But at the moment, SOS just does nothing. Camera loads up the camera. But apart from that, it's been a really good phone. It's been a really good radio. It's been really interesting. I've used this in areas where the 3G coverage is a little bit poor, yet it's still managed to get through and make contact. Sometimes there's a bigger time delay in a weaker signalled area, so the time delay between transmitting and the other party receiving increases. So if you've got slow internet or poor coverage, there's a bigger delay. With digital, you get a lot more packet loss, I found, in weaker areas, or with weaker signal, the packet loss are increased. You tend not to get packet loss with this, you just don't receive anything at all. So it's not as reliable, say, as VHF, UHF, HF radio, proper radio. However, you know what, you can be the other side of the country, in different countries in fact, all around the world, and you get crystal clear communication, providing you've got that coverage that you need. So it's certainly a viable way of communicating, and it's something that we're going to be exploring a lot more. Now, if you haven't already, I need you to go look at Lewis's channel, which is Ringway Manchester. Lewis is a good friend of mine. He's got one of these radios a few weeks ago, and he's done the same as me with regards to doing a bit of an unboxing and an update on them, a bit of a trial. We're going to be getting together hopefully over the next few days and doing a video together, doing a proper demonstration and trying out a few of the little features of this device. So please come back and have a look at those, but make sure you do click Lewis's. I'm going to put his link in the description down below, so give that one a click if you get time. Apart from that, that's all I wanted to mention really. Thank you for the support. I've had some good comments, I've had some good messages sent to me, and hopefully we'll get a few more videos done. I'd like to show some videos highlighting some accessories with this as well. One last thing also, we're talking about mapping with various buttons on this. I thought I might be able to disable the push to talk button that's on this screen. So far I've not been able to do that. If you go into the settings of Zello, you can actually stop the PTT feature and have it so you push it once and it'll transmit, you push it again and it'll stop transmitting, but you can't actually turn it off. You can turn off other hardware which uses PTT. So if you're using like a Bluetooth fist microphone, for instance, you can activate and deactivate that PTT button, but you can't deactivate the one on the screen. So that's a bit of a shame, but it's something that I'm still looking into and I'm still playing around with. If I do find a way of doing that, then obviously I'll let you guys know. But for the moment, that's all I wanted to show you. Thanks for tuning back in again with me today, and hopefully soon you'll get another one with Lewis and myself doing a proper collab video. So thanks again, and I'll catch you another time.